Hi, hello, welcome to Bookmas. Apart from looking absolutely horrendous today, we are going to do end of the year book tag, which is quite exciting. I am going to beg you to ignore everything that's going on here. It is what it is, that is the situation. Some of you might know that I couldn't post for a few days because I got food poisoning pretty bad. So if some of you are wondering what happened, I ate junk food and it upset my tummy really bad. I had a high fever, a really elevated pulse, so I ended up in the hospital, needed to be rehydrated. When I got home, I just was on medication, and that's basically it. But I had really bad tummy aches and I couldn't edit, film, or anything for a few days. Now, some of the videos I posted were already filmed before. I just had to edit them, so that's why I do not talk about it at all. But, well, yeah, that's what happened. Not a big deal. I will not be eating any junk food for the foreseeable future. That's for sure. Now, let's get into the video. I got the questions from Sarah Caroli's end of the year book tag from probably 2 years ago. I kind of like to watch really old videos for some reason, so if you do not watch Sarah Caroli's videos, you should do that. The first one is the most disappointing read of the year. Give me a second to think about it. Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. Like, it wasn't a bad book per se, but it was just so predictable and kind of boring, and it got me into this huge reading slump. It was really hard to get out of. It took me a month to read that book. I liked what happened in it, but it just didn't hit. And the spice was absolutely horrendous, guys. I do not need that much description when it comes to spice. Like, I can, my mind works just fine. I do not need all those graphic descriptions. Thank you. Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver made me decide that I don't want to read any other books written by her. It's just, I feel like it's a bit subjective. A lot of people love her books. Also, Funny Story by Emily Henry. If you know me, you know I don't like Emily Henry books. And I've realized that during this year. Because I started with Bitch Read and this other one, I forgot. Whatever, another one. Was it Funny Story, the other one? I suppose it is. Now, I liked Funny Story, like almost all of it. I was so happy about it. I was like, okay, this is a little bit weird because we have, how can I explain this? A girl and a guy, they both had a partner that cheated on them with the other partners. I don't know if that makes any sense, but they were cheated on. Their partners are now together and they are roommates because they didn't have any options, right? And that was a quite interesting situation. And Emily Henry writes her books so well. It's fast-paced, it keeps you into the story, right? And then we get to the third act breakup and I literally want to open the window and jump straight on my head. That's the feeling I get, because she has this miscommunication that involves the ex, and I absolutely hate it. I hate that thing. And that made me realize, you know what, I'm just wasting my time, because Emily Henry books are not for me because of the way she ends them. Definitely a very disappointing ending for me. An overhyped book that you read. I want everyone to sit down comfortably and take a few deep breaths, because I'm going to say something you won't like, okay? You will not like this at all, so take a moment, okay? We need to talk about the Shatter Me series. I like the story, I like the characters, I like the setting, I like the dystopian part. It's just not enough. Like, something is constantly missing. I'm expecting much more, and then yeah, it happens, something happens, but not enough. Not enough, it's not enough. Aaron Werner is really cool. I really like him. Juliet is starting to not be a whiny bitch anymore, which I like. But somehow, it just doesn't satisfy me. It feels, I'm not here insulting the book or the writing style, because the writing style is not bad, but the whole thing feels a little bit childish, or simple, but I cannot explain why. I cannot pinpoint what it is that makes it feel like, oh, just a story, you know? I'm not into it. I'm like, they're not high stakes, or they do not feel like high stakes even though they are. So I'm a little bit confused as to why. But I'm like, okay, I want to finish it. Yeah, sure. But do I want to finish it now? No, not really. I'm not really interested right now. So I'm a bit disappointed and feel like it is a bit overhyped for what it is. I'm sorry. Hopefully you do not hate me for this, okay? Please, do not hate me. Oh, overhyped book, and this will be in another category as well. We have the Twisted Love series. Especially, you know what? No, not Twisted Love. Twisted Games. You guys were crazy about this one. You were saying, oh my god, this is one of the best book in the series. It's not. I'm sorry, it is not. Like, it was the most predictable one of them all. Well, of the two I read. I read just Twisted Love and Twisted Games. It was really predictable. I know. No, I'm sorry. And I am contemplating, do I want to finish the series? Because I don't really think so, you know? Again, a lot of you love the Twisted series. I'm sorry. A book that surprised you. Girl, The Naturals surprised the shit out of me. I did not expect this to be one of my favorite books. Let's compare this to Shatter Me. This is also childish in a way. This is also simple in a way, but it doesn't feel like that. This is keeping me on my toes and makes me curious. So this was really exciting and surprising for me, and I will be reading the rest of the series 100%. So if you haven't read The Naturals yet, go read it. You need to, okay? Another rather series that surprised me was the Cruel Prince series, because I hated the first book. I read it in the beginning of the year and I did not get the hype at all. I didn't like it, and then you guys drove me insane and told me you need to read the whole series, you need to give it a real chance, and I did. I did not expect this to become one of my favorite series, you know, because The Wicked King changed everything. Your favorite book couples of the year? I'm not sure here, because obviously I like Rysand. And I like Rysand and Feyre. I'm just, you know what, I am pretty basic when it comes to book boyfriends and couples, so Rysand and Feyre. I can't even remember other book couples, honestly. Adam and Olive, I like them too, quite a bit. I'm gonna say something surprising about book couples. This is the first love triangle angle, however you want to call it, in which I do not know which one I like most. I don't know which is my favorite one, and that never happens. So, just fun fact. So the next one is favorite character of the year, and I know who this is. Let me just pick up the book. Selena Sardothian is by far the coolest character ever. The coolest FMC. She is an assassin, and she's such a badass. I cannot help but like fall in love with badass FMCs that are still feminine. I love when we have a really, really strong badass FMC that's still feminine and still, you know, she's just cool. New favorite author discovered. So I feel like I am easy to please, but that doesn't happen as often as I want. I haven't found many books that make me go, oh my god, yes, this is it. There are a few, and you know, Sarah J. Maas is my favorite author, and Ali Hazelwood is another favorite author, but in a different way. She's more comforting. But the newest addition to my favorite authors is Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And I only read one of her books. And I just know this is an author I would go back to because I just know I'm going to have a good time. So, Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Most frustrating book of the year. I know which book this is. And it is 100% How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. This book stole the love of reading from me for a while. I am recovering even now. I couldn't read anything. After reading this, I did do the 24-hour reading challenge, which was alright, but that felt like a separate thing from my usual reading, and this took me out. I am not able to read. I am one to read The Cricket Kingdom, The Six of Crows, actually. And I'm struggling, and not because I didn't even read more than like 10 pages. I want to get into it and I know I like it, but it's really hard. And it's all because of this book. The main character is so damn unlikable. I haven't seen anything like this before in my reading life. Even though it's not a big reading life, it's enough to know I won't read any other books written by Megan Quinn. It's not the writing style, it's just the character, the damn character. So long story short, she's supposed to be lighthearted, easygoing, and funny and, sarcastic, but she just ends up being rude and not funny at all. Just a pain in everyone's ass. So, no, I didn't like this. Absolutely not. I'm not recommending this. It was so frustrating. I read 60 pages and I just didn't want to put my hands on the book anymore. The happiest book you read this year. I don't think I read a very, insanely happy book. But I did read, where is it? The 7-Year Slip, which felt, just giggly, funny, and lighthearted. Not deep, but still a good book. So I would say this is a happy book I read. This was not happy, but it made me very happy. So I will put it in the same category. It's not happy because the main character has some issues, right? And I cried reading a rom-com. Can you believe that? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me. I cried this year reading books, and I don't cry usually when I read anything. So this book made me very happy. So one of my favorites. The saddest book you read this year. You've reached Sam. Obviously, you know this. I think I cried more than I read. I will not be reading any Dustin Tao books because I don't like sad endings. I don't like crying. It was a good book in that sense if you want to cry, but I don't want to. So I won't read any other books even though it was a really good book. The shortest book you read this year. I would say maybe, let me check. We have The Christmas Guest. This one was pretty short. We have the Shatter Me novellas, but I don't think those count. This one was a really good book. If you want a short, engaging thriller to just read in one sitting, this is good. Oh, but this is not the shortest one. The shortest one is White Nights, which I've said this before. This is just the story of a boy who basically falls in love with a bitch. That's my opinion. If you don't agree with me, whatever. That's what happens, basically. And I didn't like it. It was short, though. I didn't waste a lot of time. It wasn't bad per se, but it's just not for me. Yeah, this is the shortest book I read. Your favorite covers of the year. And I have a few of them. I have 2 special ones, but before we get into the special ones, I feel like the Caraval series has the prettiest covers ever. This is outstanding. Honestly, I love it. And so are the others. Now, going back to the special ones, I'm in love with this book. I received it as a gift and it will forever be one of my favorite books. It is the Korean version of Onyx Storm. I keep talking about learning Korean, but I haven't yet, so I think I should. Another one is the Oro and Grimm book. I feel like this is just, it's pretty because it's fan art and you have the sprayed edges. I really like this one. I am a Grimm Tim girly, of course. There's no discussion there. The book you haven't stopped thinking about. I will tell you 2 series I haven't stopped thinking about, and one is the Empyrean series and the other one is the ACOTAR series. But if we are talking about can't stop thinking about them, even though ACOTAR is my very favorite one and I love the writing style and there's not much to complain about, this one is the one I couldn't stop thinking about. Specifically, Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. The first 2 books were my favorite ones. And when I finished them, because I had to wait before reading Onyx Storm, I just had a little bit of a depressive episode because I felt like my life had no meaning. I've never read, I've had a few series that made me feel like this, but I haven't read a book that just makes me feel hollow inside because I'm not part of that world anymore. And that's how the Empyrean series made me feel. Even though it was cringe at times, even though the writing style is not my favorite, it made me feel something that most other books do not make me feel. So definitely couldn't stop thinking about this and I can't wait for the next book. The cringiest book of the year. Girl, I have quite a few. A Twisted Love, for sure. This was really cringe. So was Twisted Games. they'll fall. Twisted Love and Twisted Games. I'm sorry, but these are like really cringe. Really cringe. Welcome to the Lion's Den or whatever. Be ready for the Lion's Den when you go to like do the nasty with him. It's really bad. The Twisted Games, the Twisted series, I feel like it's all quite cringe. So that's one. I have more. Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I don't know where it is. I struggled to read that book. I was giggly sometimes. It was a really weird book for me. Basically, 5 guys tormenting a girl. They want to bang her. She kind of likes the whole tormenting stuff, but apparently she has only one love interest, though she has a threesome, more like a pity threesome. Absolutely outrageous. I don't know why. What? It was a fever dream, that whole book. Cringe quite often. I will not be reading the rest of the series, I think. I do not feel like I want to finish it. Butcher and Blackbird, I read it towards the beginning of the year, and I know a lot of you like Butcher and Blackbird. I did not like that book. Maybe the genre idea was something I really didn't like. The like comedic take on dark romance, they do not work together in my opinion. It just doesn't work. It takes away from the whole dark romance, vibe, and it's just not for me. But the romance in that book, the spies, was so cringe for me. I literally was physically cringing while I was reading it, so absolutely not. Now, I did torture myself with some books I knew I wasn't going to like, but let me just rant for a little bit, okay? We have Den of Vipers, and I haven't talked about this book on my channel because I wanted to make a video reading the smuttiest, cringiest, whatever book, and I couldn't go through it. I read probably, I don't know, a quarter of the book, and I just couldn't go through with it, and I didn't speak about it. DNF'd it. I don't want to try to read it ever again. Really weird vibes, white shoes, very grapey in my opinion. I hate the FMC. Basically, she's this tatted, really cool girl that can beat up 5 guys without thinking twice, but then they come back and kidnap her, and she's basically at their house and starts banging them one after the other. Okay, that's what happens. And I disliked it with all my heart. I didn't like Roxy because that's her name, and no, very cringe, very, very cringe. Then we have Sabotage, which was, again, quite a similar vibe, but even worse in my opinion. Very vulgar, only sex basically. And then I read 2 books at the very, very, very beginning of the year. I read Stuffed and Unhinged. And I read those because I wanted to make a video about weird romance books. And let me tell you, they are weird. So one is about the MMC being a door, and the other one is about the MMC being a pillow. Both of them challenge my mental limits. Insanely cringe, insanely weird, but at the same time, that's some imagination the author had, with my respects. Unpopular book that you loved. So I think that this book is rather unpopular because I am more in the romance side of, social media. But Brother is a romance book I haven't heard a lot about, but I liked it a lot. Very gory, very disgusting in many ways, but it was a really, really good book with very vivid descriptions and very annoying ending, that being said, but a very, very good book. Books with the most unique concept you read this year, and we have Babel or Babel. This is not my favorite book of the year. It was hard to go through it. At some points it was kind of slow, but it is definitely a unique magic system. It's a fantasy where they learn linguistics, and through linguistics they create magic, or they imbue magic into silver rods, and with those they help civilization work better. I don't think this is a book for everyone. It's a bit slow, as I said, but it is an interesting book for sure. Books you read this year that you would reread. I am not a rereader because I think it will never be the same. And I haven't had the urge to reread a book yet. Apart from Fourth Wing, I did feel like I wanna read that again, but there are so many other books out there that I haven't read. I just cannot reread a book I've read before. I don't like, that's something I wouldn't do very often. Another one would be The Love Hypothesis, maybe, but it's not an urge I get very often. Goodreads reading goal, reflection. Oh, I didn't put all my books. I haven't hit my goal because I didn't put the last books I read, which are Good Spirit, Christmas Guest, Trial of the Sun Queen. I wish I used Fable because it gives me like an overview of what I read. I think I'm gonna switch to Fable rather than Goodreads. My reading goal, can you see? My reading goal was 60 books for this year. I felt like that was really ambitious for me. I read, with the 4 I didn't count, which I'm gonna put after finishing this video, I read 63 books. And so I passed my reading challenge with 3 books. That is amazing, honestly. And I'm going to read a few more books by the end of the year, so that's a success. If I wouldn't have finished it, it didn't really count all that much. I don't feel like the number of books you read is that important. Like, yeah, it can be, you know, a little bit of a happiness at the end of the year, like, yay, I hit my goal, but it shouldn't be a goal, you know? Doesn't really matter. As long as you enjoyed reading, that's what counts, you know? You know what, I'm just gonna add one because I wanna know what happens. Does something happen when I hit my goal? Do I have fireworks on the screen or something like that? Yay! Can you see? Are they gone? I had some confetti. 2026 reading goal. I do have a reading goal for 2026. And honestly, if I could put an open reading goal, I would do that. I don't know, could I do that in Fable? Like, not have a number goal, just, you know, read as much as I want. I don't know. I'd love to do that instead of having a number goal. But I would like to read more, a little bit more than this year, because I just wanna, you know more stories. That's basically what I wanna do. So that's why I wanna read more books. Now, the next question is, what will you prioritize in 2026 reading year? I do have something I wanna prioritize. I feel like I've been very safe with the books I am reading, or I rather went for the very popular books, and that's because I'm fairly new to reading and I just wanted to know the hype. I will continue to go for popular books, but I will also want to give a try to maybe books I haven't heard that much about. That's one thing. The second thing is I have a problem, and that problem is being in the middle of way too many series. I think I am in the middle of over 12 series right now, and that might be quite a problem. I've noticed that people that tend to read the whole series in one go tend to just not get into a reading slump and just, you know, finish a series and you can go to another story, rather than keeping some books for later, as I'm doing with A Court of Silver Flames. I should just read this and get over with it. I will find other good books I like. I don't need to keep this one, you know? And I am buying just one book from some series because I'm afraid I will not like the entire series, which is a good thing. And one aspect is I'm not spending the money on series I don't like or I don't think I'm gonna like. But then when I do like the book and I don't have the rest of the series, then I don't read it. And I kind of, you know, it just sits there. And up until I order the next part of the series, and I order through Librusto, and it takes a bajillion days to arrive. So I'm kind of, you know, I don't know what to do. Should I buy the whole series and just, you know what it is. If I don't read it, I don't read it. Or if I like it and I'm just gonna read it all one after the other. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that I feel like I should, you know, start and finish a series if I like it. Like without jumping from book to book and genre to genre, because that's what I'm doing right now. And I feel like I'm not getting too deep into one universe, and I would like to do that. So I also have a few of your questions now. One is, which was the most difficult book to read? Definitely The Ministry of Time. I gave that book a chance. At first I was happy about it. I think I'm gonna love this book, and then I ended up hating the book. I read about 30-something%. No, it was not it. I didn't like how it was written. One of the worst writing style I have ever read. But for me, it's not like it's a bad writing style. It's a bad writing style, in my opinion. It's not what keeps me engaged. I didn't like the characters, didn't see the whole point of it. I just, no. Another one was the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. It wasn't as bad because it was a bit more lighter, so it was easier to go through. But it was really boring, so yeah, very boring for me, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Top 3 books. I would say my top 3 books are, as for rom-coms, Love Theoretically is my favorite one at this moment. I cannot choose between these two. They are on the same place. So one of them, which one you want. Then I cannot choose between Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I like them just as much, but maybe Fourth Wing more. Maybe, let's say Fourth Wing. Yeah, those are still my favorite books. I haven't found anything better, you know, more than that. Like, what's going on? I want to be in that universe. Not yet. Maybe next year. Rank the Ellie Hazelwood books you've read until now. I haven't read all that many Ellie Hazelwood books. I read only 3. I have Love Theoretically, The Love Hypothesis, and Love on the Brain. And my favorite one is Love Theoretically, then The Love Hypothesis, and finally Love on the Brain. This one was my least favorite one. Another question is, what are you currently reading? And I am, where is it? Let me pick it up for you. I'm currently reading Six of Crows. I feel like everyone loves this book for a reason. I don't know the reason yet, but I am going to find it. It sounds like a very interesting premise. We have a criminal prodigy that Kaz Brecker, who's offered a chance at a deadly heist where he might win a lot of money. And he's, you know, getting a team, and they just go in this other city to, you know, for their mission. And everyone thinks they're going to die. I don't think they're going to die. I'm not even 10 pages in. I am 8 pages in, and since I got sick, I didn't really feel like reading. So maybe I will get into reading until the end of this year. I feel like I'm gonna have more time and energy to just, you know, sit, relax, and read. Hi, Aimee, I love your videos. What was your most favorite genre this year? I don't know. I feel like romantasy. Romantasy was my favorite genre, but I would love to get into some, just, I don't know, fiction. Just fiction. I read a lot of romance and romantasy. I don't mind it. You know, I just want to continue reading romance and romantasy, but add some fiction, some regular fiction to it. But definitely romantasy is my favorite genre. I kept looking at my hair. I freaking hate it. I hate it so much. Okay. Well, this was the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I had fun answering all those questions. Hope you have a wonderful day. Happy holidays. Happy Christmas. Happy New Year! Happy everything! I'm gonna say this multiple times, and probably the next video too, and the next one and all that. I'm just gonna continue wishing you happy holidays, and because I'm manifesting for you right now. Manifesting for everybody. I am the manifestation queen of happy holidays. So, yeah. Bye!